Good morning, DIALED fans, and welcome back to Lenzerheide for day 2, practice and puzzling. Sun's out, guns out. Let's go check it out.
First day of practice, and the pits are quite far away, a little bit convoluted to get there. So we just come here and hang out and deal with them direct instead of having them come down to the tent. It's a bit of a hassle, but it gets things done quicker.
Shame on us, hometown, and it was raining for the first 3 days of the week, but just in time for practice. It's clearing up, although track is super slippery up there, and that's gonna put some challenge on the bike setup, especially because it's going to dry up again for the race.
Yeah, this week has been strange because there's so much rain on the track, so usually I just want to get up to speed as quickly as I can. I guess it's the same here, but it's proving quite difficult with it being so slippery. But yeah, just trying to take baby steps now and just try and make it more comfortable.
Awesome, and what's your goal for this weekend?
Well, obviously the pace is there to win, so I'd like to win. I've won here before, so that's the goal every weekend though.
So Danny just came through, track's really drying out, getting some little holes, and there's a lot of stuff kind of falling into the line, so he was struggling to just track basically. We opened up low speed compression a little bit on his shock and slowed down low speed rebound.
I felt like I talked to Bini. I think he went down on pressure and maybe 2 clicks on high speed. I just felt I was sitting too far in the rear and my front was getting pushed a lot.
Okay.
And then again I just noticed like sort of through there I wasn't quite balanced.
Okay.
So it felt like it was wanting to push me off the corners still.
Okay.
Today is a little different obviously because we had so much rain yesterday, so yeah, just trying to get into it, trying to get a feel for the track and how it's riding and working, but it's drying up a lot now, so I think by this afternoon it's going to be good. But just take it easy first couple of rounds and then just start ramping up a bit and finding speed. Goal for this weekend, definitely top 5. I mean, I've been trying to get there this whole year, and things have been pretty hard trying to get there. The speed everyone's going is super hard, so yeah, I'd be super stoked if finish the weekend with a top 5.
For here, coming in really slow. I'm early. I always try to go too fast, too quick, and especially here when it's supposed to be drier this afternoon, drier tomorrow, and hopefully you might even get a dry day Saturday. So I don't want to try to blow my load on the first day in the wet, you know. So I'm going to come in slow. That's the plan. Anyway, easy said than done, but we're getting there.
Awesome. And what's your goal for this weekend?
You know, I feel I've had some pretty good ones here. I just really want to be back in top 10. Good round back in the top 10. I had 8 at that last split, and then I got a front puncture 2 years ago, so that's a nice little bit to think about. So now I've got 60 PSI on both my tyres.
Brendan just said it felt a little weird, like a little unplanted in the back. And since I think he's the only flat pedal rider I deal with, it's always a little bit different for me. It doesn't set up exactly the same as some of the other guys. But I added a little bit of compression for him and slowed down his low speed rebound.
It's surprisingly actually a little soft.
Really?
Yeah. But quite a lot of the times Mark drops a PSI and a couple clicks of compression just for the first run for World
that's
Cup.
totally fine.
So that'll be why.
Okay. I've got pump and everything with me too.
Normally doing that for the first run just gives me confidence that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then he changes it without telling me and I feel weird.
I think that's not a bad program.
Yeah. So normally for me, I like to warm up really slow because I feel like you can get a bit ahead of yourself, and it changes so much by finals that sometimes you can be shooting yourself in the foot, but it's whatever works for you. I like to just get up to speed slow, start piecing it together for qualies, and then leave a couple things to game for finals. So yeah, I guess in comparison to some people, I kind of
go a little more chilled, but then just start ramping it up. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I guess same game plan as last weekend for Saturday. It's yeah, I'd be keen to get back into that top 5, so I'm 6th now, and same game plan as every week, man. Go for the win. Doesn't change. Sick.
So yeah, pretty much at the beginning of practice we kind of we need to know where we're going. We need to find the good lines and the stuff, and once we know the lines, we start going on the speed, and once we increase the speed, the bike feels so much different. So we want a setup that it's kind of a race setup. Sometimes it doesn't really go, like, it doesn't really feel that good on practice when you're not on speed, but once you are up on race speed and stuff, it needs to feel good. So pretty much now it's a big race, so we need to find the lines, and once we start knowing where we're going, we kind of increase the speed, and then that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And what's your goal for this weekend?
Well, I've been pretty close to the top 20 on the last races, so definitely a top 20 would be awesome. Last year at the Worlds I got 20th, so I'm happy. I like the track, and I think it'll be a good race.
Awesome.
The track is still again really wet, and it's dangerous because of so many routes and stuff. And the weekend weather should be okay. No more rain, and I will try to get slow. Just watch the line. I stop everywhere on the track and watching the lines. And at the end of the days, I think it will be more dry. And for the time training, push more and be more faster. I think is my way for 2 days.
Awesome. And then what's your goal for this weekend?
I want to stay like consistently on the top 20. The past week I did 24, and I really like to finish these 2 rounds on a good pace and good result. And I will try to make points at the quali and make points at the final too. And I don't know, maybe top 20, top 50, I hope.
Awesome.
Trying to find the lines, trying to find a line that I'm happy with, and try to pick up the pace a bit. And my goal, like any other race, I think is to try and win. Normally that's what you get a race for. I don't think that changes.
Yeah, it's rained a lot yesterday and last night, so just kind of taking my time, just easing into it. I think it'll dry up quite a bit as the day goes on, so I have time training this weekend, so just kind of wait till maybe 3 o'clock and then start doing kind of faster runs.
What's your goal for this weekend?
Top 30, top 20 would be nice for sure.
Since it was a bit wet in the morning and it's been drying up throughout the day, I need to possibly stay better the weather for tomorrow. We might have a 50% chance for race day of thunderstorms or something like that. But today, well, I just waited and let it dry a bit. So it's getting better, and for time practice it's gonna get much better. It's just leak, so just cautious but enjoying it. Goal for the weekend is to have on the bike, move forward, hopefully in the overall, and make it through. That's, I guess, the most important thing.
Up top is like flowy, like little changement. Yeah. I feel like the speed rebound is a bit too quick.
Okay. No, shock.
Shock. Okay. Just, you know, like it's hard to feel like planted, and it's too like brep.
Okay.
And I've like lighter rim, so a lot like softer. Yeah. Right now feels good. Pretty sure I won't race that. Okay. Basically, we kind of know it's gonna get like drier, so we just like trying to set up the bike on where the track is pretty good, and the rest is just like we see later. So having fun, set up the bike where I think you could push a bit, and then see after. So that's the plan.
Awesome. And then what's your goal for this weekend?
Obviously, like winning would be great, but you know, we're gonna have a good run and see, like, we'll see.
Today, I guess it's the same as every World Cup. Just go from my base setting that I know the bike works pretty well, and then just learn the track, learn the lines, try and get comfortable, and try and get the bike set up as best as I can using a few runs today. Yeah.
Awesome. And then what's your goal for this weekend?
Just to stay consistent. My results are like gradually getting better each week, so just to continue that progression. Yeah.
Well, the practice is not easy this morning because it's really slippery, and it's run after run. The track is a little bit more dry, but the wood section is stay slippery.
So, and then what's your goal for this weekend?
I think now the win, it's really my goal. We will see what happens.
So Marine just came down, third run I think. Track's drying out a little bit, but still tricky in spots. She just said she was getting a kick on the flatter parts of the course and tucking the front end a little bit, so I think it's more of a compression thing rather than a rebound. So we just changed some compression a little bit. We'll see how it goes.
All right, what's your approach to practice?
Well, normally on the first lap I start her off real slow to just learn the course and then try and push the pace, and by the time we get into time training I should be like 80% pace maybe. And then the second day I try and get up to quali pace really.
What's your goal for this weekend?
I wouldn't mind another podium, that'd be pretty cool, but this course doesn't really work to my strength, so we'll see. Top 5 would be good though.
I think just trying to learn the track piece by piece, and then come end of practice trying to put that all together. And there's sort of sections on this track. There's bits in between that are kind of pretty easy to learn, and then there'll be a chunk that's quite difficult and then an easier bit. So it's just learning those sections and getting comfy and then piecing it all together, I think.
What's your goal for this weekend?
Try and get on the podium.
Okay, so I'm a B practice rider, so we start quite early. So I try to start as late as possible for B practice here, and yeah, get a couple of runs in, maybe dial all the jumps first, and then see how the track evolves. It's going to drier and drier, so it'll be interesting. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to see what kind of tires people are running, and yeah, go from there.
Awesome. And what's your goal for this weekend?
Well, the goal is always to get top 5, and here, especially like in my home country, I'll try to ride my best and maybe reduce the time to the best girls like Marine and Tracy, and try to get closer to them for once and see what happens.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for day 1 of practice here in Lenzerheide. There wasn't much puzzling going on in the pits, so we decided to switch it up and get some rider insight on track. We're loving the feedback, so keep it up and let us know what you'd like to see in the comment section below. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow for day 2 of practice and qualifiers.